Welcome to Vysh IAS. So we'll be continuing with the PLUMS series of polity, governance and schemes today. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing this channel so that you will be getting daily free updates on UPSC. And if you're looking for a good quality test series, then you can contact the number which is given on the screen 7200681675. Let's move on to the first question. How many statements are correct? First statement reads national emergency as stated in 352. Article 352 is declared on the grounds of war, external aggression, armed rebellion. Second, Constitution employs expression proclamation of emergency to denote an emergency of this type. Then third is first proclamation of emergency was during China's attack on India. So first two statements are fairly easy. It is processable. It's from the standard fact, standard source, Lakshmikant. So you can directly mark it as correct. This you should be able to mark it as correct on the first look itself. Okay. Immediately after reading the question, you should be able to derive that the first two statements are correct and it is a standard fact taken from a standard source. This is what you have to process and this is what you have to learn. Which is a standard fact, which is a non-standard fact, which is taken from a standard source and which is not taken from a standard source. If the question is from standard source, then most of the students will make it correct and you will also have to make it correct so that you will be considered in the competition. Whereas the third statement, maybe some people will miss that and this is going to give that upper edge for you. If you are able to process this statement, this particular kind of statements correctly, then there is a higher probability of you clearing the prelims, because these kind of statements mainly people miss out. Okay, this kind of factual statements people will be missing out, and in that case, if you are able to give that upper edge, if you are able to score that upper edge, then you will be in the competition. Okay, so here in this case all the statements are correct and the correct answer comes out to be all three. Now come to the next question. How many statements are correct? Article 358 is confined to fundamental rights under Article 19 only, whereas Article 359 extends to all those fundamental rights whose enforcement is suspended by the presidential order. So this question is essentially asking about the difference between Article 358 and 359. So there are certain differences and this you have to mug up in a table-like format. Like what is the effect on fundamental rights. 358 and 359 both are having certain provisions and it is relating to the national emergency. So this you have to read the statement. Here in the question you will be getting these kind of statements only. You have to process it on the basis of your notes. Okay, in the notes you can make this comparison table and from this you can, at the time of the exam, immediately this table should come to your mind and from this table you should be able to derive the statements. You should be able to break down the complex statements like this and reach at the answer. So here please split the sentence. Okay, in the exam, actual exam, you are going to get the statement like this only. So you have to split the statement into 2 or 3 and you have to process each part of the sentence. Article 358, it is confined to fundamental rights, correct, under Article 19 only. Yes, this is first part. Second, whereas Article 359, it's extending to all those fundamental rights whose enforcement is suspended by the presidential order, correct. Article 358 automatically suspends the fundamental rights under Article 19, but Article 359 does not automatically suspend. Yes, this is also correct. 358 operates only in case of external emergency and not in internal emergency, whereas 359, it is relating to both internal and external emergency. All the three statements are correct and the correct answer comes out to be all three, option number C. Every minister has the right to speak and take part in the proceedings of either house, joint sittings, any committee of parliament of which he or he may be named member, but not entitled to vote. And this particular provision is stated in which of the article? So this there is a chance of confusion. Many people will be aware of this particular provision but not of the article number. Believe me, the article numbers from parliament, whichever portion is important from the exam point of view, like president, fundamental rights, then parliament, the whole article, the range of articles, at least the range of articles you should be knowing. Okay, but this kind of statements, the exact article you should know. Okay, here the correct answer is Article 88. Option number B is the correct answer, and this particular provision is also important. Even this can be taken as a separate question. They may give some statement. They may be giving 1, 2, 3, and out of that, one statement can be this. It's a potential question. So here correct answer is Article 88. come to the next. Which of the following statements are correct? Vice President shall be ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha and shall not hold any other office of profit. Correct. Can be removed from his office only if he is removed from the office of Vice President. Although this seems a little difficult, this is a correct statement. Okay. So here all the two statements are correct, both 1 and 2. It's a fairly easy question relating to Vice President. Then, which statement is correct? So please make a change here, which is not correct. The question is which statement is not correct, and please take a pause on the screen and please attempt this question. Okay, please try attempting this question. The question is which statement is not correct. So 4 statements are given. Secretariat of Parliament is headed by Secretary General appointed by the presiding officer. Speaker of Lok Sabha advises the Lok Sabha Secretariat, which is an independent entity of the Lok Sabha. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha assisted in the discharge of his constitutional and statutory responsibilities by the Secretary General, Lok Sabha, Additional Secretary, Joint Secretary and other officers and staff of the Secretariat at various levels, and D is none of these. So here you can see that all these statements A, B, C are correct statement, and the question is asking which is not correct. So which would be the answer? D. None of these would be the answer because it is not correct. None of these is correct is this exact statement given here, and that particular statement is not correct. So this is why I asked you to attempt this question. So please once again pause the screen and try attempting this question. Here the question is which is not correct, and we can see that A, B, C, all these 3 statements are correct, and the statement which is not correct is none of these. None of these, it is saying that A, B, C are not correct, but that is not our answer because the question is which is not correct. So here the correct answer comes out to be none of these. That's the end of today's session. So we'll meet in the next week in the next episode. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.